The atheists claim they don't have faith. Oh, yes, they do, in their science, in the rational intelligibility of the universe.
No, I don't need to have faith in science. The whole point of science is to actually check an assertion rather than having faith in it. And I certainly don't have faith that the universe is rationally intelligible because I'm not even convinced that it is. So far it seems to be, but maybe some of the questions that are so far unanswered are unanswered because their answers are totally indigestible to rational human intelligence.
But half a minute, where's the evidence that that faith is justified? In their worldview, it doesn't exist, because their worldview is that human intelligence is simply the product of a mindless, unguided process. But if that's the case, why on earth would you give it any credence whatsoever? Why would you believe any thing that it produced?
I believe ideas that seem to work. Perhaps they aren't even true in the sense that Lennox understands the concept of truth. That's irrelevant to me. They can be totally illusory, but as long as they allow me to consistently navigate my illusions, they are worth employing. And even if the human mind was created by an intelligence, it is still apparently very fallible. We make mistakes. Sometimes we make mistakes that we don't even know that we made. Even if our minds are intelligently created, they were apparently intelligently created to be fallible for some reason. A mind intelligently created to be fallible should also be considered untrustworthy.
As John Gray has pointed out not so long ago, and he has said that, the interesting thing about the evolutionary doctrines that these new atheists base so much of their worldview on is that they are geared to survivability, not towards truth. So why would you believe anything produced by an apparatus that is thrown up by such a mindless, unguided process?
I suspect that being able to predict and account for one's experiences is very evolutionarily advantageous. Whether the theories we use to do so are mistaken is irrelevant as long as they are consistently apparently effective and maximally parsimonious. Mistaken theories usually become disadvantageous when they fail to account for all of the observations they are used to explain.
Scientists have to have faith in the rational intelligibility of the universe.
No, they don't. They don't even have to believe in it, let alone have faith in it. Sure, if you're going to do an experiment, you probably aren't convinced that the results will be unintelligible. But you don't need to be convinced that they'll be intelligible either. You can be agnostic about whether they will or will not be intelligible. If you simply aren't certain whether the results of an experiment will or will not be intelligible, it still makes sense to do the experiment just in case they are intelligible. It certainly isn't unreasonable to inductively infer that they may be intelligible because so many experimental results so far have apparently been intelligible. To everyone who helps me out on Patreon, you're a big help. Thanks so much.